Well, here we go. Yo, yo, guys. What up? Let me test. Yo, what's up, yo? We back here again. Live streaming. Okay, well, here we go. Excellent connection. Live streaming. Mount chart. Yup, here we go. Here we go. Excellent connection. Yo, didn't I have to choose my screen? Oh, I had to choose my thingy. Display caption. Screen. Let's go. Well, here we go. In stream. Yep. Can y'all see everything? Y'all can see everything. Primary mode, application, automatic. Yeah, this is just right. Okay. Well, I think this is it. Yeah, no. We in. Connecting. I'm live streaming right now. Capture moment. No. Yep. We back again. What is up, y'all? Today we back with another video, another bang, another everything. Oh, and you know what's up? Ish, today, guys, today. This is my channel. Yeah, this must be off. Am I actually streaming live, guys? Oh, that's me, Owens. Yeah, this must be off. I'm live. Well, yeah, Owens. You know what's up? We back again. Okay, now what are we gonna be doing today? Hey, Owens, I got a nice one today. You know, who of y'all knows Zile Weezy here? Because, hey, I know some of y'all know him. But today we're gonna be reacting to dark web videos on film, bro. On film. Dark web videos. Guys, let me know if y'all visited the dark web. Because, like now, I hear the dark web is not getting as popular as usual back then, yo. But y'all keep me notified. Keep me notified about the dark web. And yeah, I what guys for real, am I really live? And my quality is good now, dog. My quality is really good. You see? Keep me notified. Keep me notified. Alright, let's go. So how was the dark web found? Because I really wanna know. But yeah, we're gonna be doing this one. Well, here we go.
July 29th, 2008, a mother of two named Susan Powell recorded a video where she documented the assets in her home in Utah, just in case, in her own words, something
I think I've seen this video somewhere, y'all. Yeah,
happened to her.
This is me. July 29th, 2008.
2008, bro.
12:33 Mountain Time.
What?
Covering all my bases, making sure that if something happens to me or my family or all of us, that our assets are documented. Hope everything works out and we're all happy and live
My
happily ever
girl,
after.
you look stressed. You cannot tell us you're all happy and shit. You look stressed, bro. There's no way that you are like, hey, hey, Owens, hey. No one people, hey.
As much as that's possible.
The video was made on her attorney's advice, who feared that Susan's husband Josh might attempt to sell some of her most expensive assets.
George,
Who
the
feared that
fuck?
Susan's husband Josh might attempt to sell some of her most expensive assets.
Okay.
In the years leading up to the now infamous video's recording, the couple's marriage had been under a lot of strain, and during the recording, Susan lets on that things had been everything but peaceful
You
between
look like
her and
Ricardo
Josh over the
Kaká,
past few
guys.
years.
This is all stuff bought in a year or less through Home Depot on my credit. Josh bought a lot of stuff and then he had to bankrupt it. And then he bought a little bit more on my credit. There's a nice lamp.
So he bought all of that, bro, with the money. So he bought all of those, guys. Or was it something else, guys? I'm just wondering, Owens, because hey.
Wood with. And I had necklaces too. I don't know where those are. I just got in a rage, as you can see, and broke this.
Oh.
There's duds and pearls and opals in there.
Beads, brah.
Broke this and threw all my
Beads, my dog.
Made a mess. Because he was angry at me about a year or two back.
Although Susan had been seeing a divorce attorney to look into the possibility of leaving her husband,
oh, she was in a
they were still living together in
divorce.
2009,
It's my
almost a year and a
bad,
half
bro.
after the video was recorded. On the morning of December 6th of that year, Susan went to church with her two boys, after which a neighbor went to visit
That's a nice
her,
house.
leaving her house at about
Looks
5
creepy,
p.m.
but it's nice.
That night, Josh allegedly took the couple's two boys, Charlie and Braden Powell, on a camping trip in the middle of the night in blizzard conditions to a campsite on the Pony Express Trail.
Bro,
According
no
to Josh,
way.
Susan stayed home because she was tired. The story goes that the next day, Susan...
Imagine y'all driving in a forest that's like snowing. Like, what's your first move, dog? I'm hitting gear 2 and I'm out, bro. For real.
Family and friends reported her missing.
I can drive alone.
Weren't dropped off at daycare.
In a fucked up woods like that or forest when it's snow, no ways, bro. I'll never drive like that, bro.
When Josh came back from the supposed
know.
camping trip with his sons, he said that when he had left the previous evening, his wife had been sleeping peacefully at home and that he had no idea what could have happened to her. After searching the couple's house in Utah, police found no signs of foul play, but things continued to get stranger as the investigation continued. Inside Susan's safe deposit box at the bank where she worked, the cops found a handwritten will and testament in which Susan alleged that Josh had taken out a $1 million life insurance policy on her a few weeks prior. Disturbingly, she also wrote, "If I die..."
Owens, what is up with the handwriting? What the hell, bro? Like, your handwriting is giving, bro. Your handwriting.
May not be an accident. About
no ways, bro.
After she mysteriously disappeared, the authorities also found that Josh had filed paperwork to withdraw money from a retirement account, and he was officially declared a person of interest in the case.
So is he arrested?
Susan's family and friends reported that during the search efforts, Josh never seemed to show a genuine interest in finding his wife.
Damn.
But despite the mountain of evidence stacked against him...
See, when a camera's like this, it creeps me out, bro. Like, if they put a camera in this angle while they're interviewing, a prisoner, bro. Nah, bro. I don't like this angle. Like, it even shows the time, the date, and everything, dog.
Josh Powell,
bro, I watch documentary, Owens. I know what's going on, bro.
During the investigation, the cops
I watch documentary, guys.
But it was hard to get any solid information out of them on account.
See what I'm talking about? It's creepy when the camera's like that.
Josh had taken Susan with them on their camping trip on the night of the disappearance. They also made outlandish claims, including allegations that they had arrived at the campsite by airplane. This made it impossible to use their statements as evidence that Josh was responsible for his wife's disappearance. Shortly after, Josh and his two sons moved back to their home state of Washington, but the authorities soon
This story
determined
doesn't
it
make
wasn't safe
sense,
for Brady and
bruh.
Charlie to be living with their father in the middle of the investigation, and Josh lost custody of the boys. This is where things get extremely disturbing. On February 5th, 2012, more than 2 years after Susan's disappearance, a state caseworker brought the two boys to Josh's house for what was supposed to be a supervised visit.
Okay.
Immediately upon their arrival, Josh locked the social worker out of the house and took the lives of both his children and himself by setting the house on fire with gasoline. If his behavior during the initial phases of the investigation was suspicious, the unspeakable crimes Josh committed on that day in 2012 were about
Oh, so this guy was a criminal, charged with many cases, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm just saying. Probably a criminal charged with cases, I'm sure, fraud and shit. You get what I'm saying? But
as clear of an admission of guilt as
I
you
can't
can get in a
predict the
case
future,
like
guys.
this.
I can't
In
predict
the
the past, I
aftermath
can't
of the
predict the
tragic
future.
incident, the cops started looking into Josh's brother and father, who they suspected knew more about the case than they were letting on. Even though they had solid evidence to suggest Michael, Josh's brother, had helped him conceal Susan's body, the case reached a dead end when Michael also took his own life in 2013. More than a decade
But the thing said 2012.
later, Susan's dad won a lawsuit against Washington State for nearly $100 million on grounds of negligence and failure to protect the two children who were supposed to be in the state's custody, a big chunk of which he gave to a charity to support domestic violence survivors. Almost 15 years after her disappearance and murder of her two children, people still gather in
Okay,
Susan's
one question, guys. Where is this woman? Because I only hear like her name 3 times in this story, bruh. Or did he also take his wife's life, bro? I'm sure he did. Probably murdered his wife. And when the cops were there. Oh, he locked the thing out so the you know what I'm going. You guys know what I'm saying.
hometown of Puyallup,
Those of you who
Washington,
watch my
every year to
streams,
pay
y'all
their
know what
respects
I'm
and honor her
saying, bro.
memory. The last video Susan made
Y'all know
documenting
what
her
I'm
methods
saying.
received a lot more attention after everything had happened. With hindsight, the video is portrayed in a much more disturbing light.
Damn.
Susan saying things like, "I'm recording this just in case anything happens," makes you wonder if she knew her husband could do something this horrible as she was filming.
You see, that's why she filmed the video, guys. That's why you guys must watch documentary. Stop watching all these freaking. Hey, just stop, bro. Just.
Over the
Yeah,
years,
just.
Susan's father has been alerted of possible locations where his daughter's remains might be buried, including abandoned mines in Utah and other isolated locations. Sadly,
Abandoned mines,
every
bruh.
lead has turned out to be a false alarm, and it's very unlikely that Susan's remains will ever be found.
Damn. That was a story in a nutshell, guys. I give that a 2-hand clap.
Can a human
Fuck,
and
man.
a chatbot run away together?
Eh.
Asking because
Amber Tuccaro was a 20-year-old Canadian First Nations woman from Fort McMurray, Alberta.
She looks
In
kind of
August
Asian,
of
guys.
2012, she flew from Alberta to Edmonton International
The cargo
Airport and
plane.
booked a hotel room with her 1-year-old son and a female friend for a short vacation. That night, she got excited about the trip
Those
and
planes are
decided to
huge,
hitchhike
bro,
into the
yo.
city by herself, after which she was never seen again. When Amber didn't return to the hotel the next day, her friend called her mother, who immediately called the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Soon after, Amber was declared a missing person. The authorities dug into her phone records and found that she
That's how I know
received
the
a phone
story.
call while she was
That's how I know the story, guys. I've heard it somewhere. But I'm not gonna spoil it, yo.
in the company of
I'm
an
gonna
unidentified
keep
man.
it chill, you see.
The recording is pretty unsettling, especially since it marked the last time she was ever heard alive.
Where are we by? We're just heading south of Beaumont, or north of Beaumont. We're heading north of Beaumont. Yo, where are we going? No, this is a... Are you kidding me? You better not take me anywhere I don't want to go. I want to go into the city. Jeez.
Yo.
No, we're not going into the city, are we? No, we're not. Yes. Then where are these roads going to? 50th Street.
Leading you to death, my woman.
Sure? Absolutely. Yo, where are we going? 50th Street. 50th Street?
50th Street.
east, right? Over now.
In the
Hmm.
recording, a male driver can be heard reassuring Amber that they're heading where she wants to go, but she doesn't seem to be buying the story and is obviously pretty distressed. On August 28th, the cops released the phone conversation, but they didn't officially start investigating the disappearance until well after a month after Amber was reported missing. Sadly, when Amber's mother pressured the cops to do something and help her find her
But real talk though. Why did she sound like a freaking 5-year-old, bro? Or more or less a 2-year-old, bro. Now for real, she did sound like a 2-year-old, guys. Hey.
daughter,
I'm
they
being
dismissed her and
for
told her
real,
that
yo.
Amber was probably just out partying and would turn up soon.
Where?
Tragically, on September 1st, 2012, just 4 days after the audio from the eerie conversation was released, the remains of Amber's body were found on a rural property near Leduc County by a group of horseback riders.
See, that's why I don't want to go to America, guys. That's why I don't want to go to America. Yeah. That's why I want to go to America. Because then this shit happens, you see. Okay, let's say you're hitchhiking. You're like drunk, coming from a party or whatever. You lift up your hand, ask for a lift. Guys, when you see that the car is like inside it's dirty and stuff. You guys know what to do, guys. Don't get in the. You guys know what to do. You guys were taught like this as kids, guys. Come on, you guys know what to do, man.
One of the most
Don't
frustrating
be
aspects of this
disappointing now.
case
Don't
is
be
how
that example
unprofessionally the
now.
disappearance was handled by the Canadian police. After just 1 month of searching, Amber was taken off missing persons list based on a series of suspicious, unconfirmed, and anonymous sightings in Edmonton, and it took her mother an entire month to get her back on the list.
Yo,
By the time she was put back on the list by the negligent cops who made the unforgivable mistake, her property, which could have been used as evidence, had already been accidentally destroyed after it was recovered from her hotel.
why are you checking the hotel? Why would she be murdered in the hotel?
Claiming to know the identity of the man
People,
in the
man,
recording, with all of them accusing the same man. The authorities say they've looked into him, but he wasn't declared a person of interest. A few years ago,
Yeah.
another man came forward and claimed that the man in the recording was his father, an American citizen with no legal standing in Canada.
So it's the
who'd been
father, so the
living on a
father
ranch
killed
in the
her.
Greater Edmonton area. If the man's testimony is to be believed, his father is also responsible for several other mysterious disappearances and deaths that have taken place in the area over the last few years. One of the most disturbing aspects in the recording is the audible dishonesty in the man's voice, which is pretty much clear as day when Amber asks if he's sure they're going into the city, and he responds with an
Girl, but I was singing in my head name when she was speaking to this guy or the father, whoever she drove with. Why would she be asking, are we going into the city? When you can see that the road is a dirt road. It doesn't lead to the city, bruh. Yo, guys. I feel like documentaries are now getting fake, bro.
extremely fake, absolutely. It's also pretty messed up how the cops handled the case from start to finish, and many people suspect the cause of the unprofessional management of the case was just straight up racism against the indigenous woman.
Maybe.
Hopefully, we'll someday have an explanation for what happened that night to
So
Amber
till this
Tamara.
day there is nothing.
For now, the case remains a pretty disturbing mystery.
Hold on, guys. I need to edit something. I want to edit my stream. What should we name it, guys? Thing 2 5 disturbing recordings. Left by missing person. Yeah, so I'm gonna link these Oaks YouTube channel down in the description, guys, and y'all can go check it. Y'all can go check it. Yeah, y'all can go check it, y'all. Guys,
Calling all poets.
you know what I found weird about these missing people. How can, guys? I know I'm a kid, nah. I'm 17, but how can a man go missing, guys? How can he kidnap a man? A man can fight for himself.
Late 2014, a YouTuber named Kenny Veach commented under the username SnakeBitMcGee on a video titled Area 51 Technician's Son Discloses Secret Alternative Energy. The comment read, "That ain't nothing. I am a long-distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this
Stupid. Why would you enter every cave you find or found? Dog, are you stupid? Like, why would you do that, bro?
cave, my whole body began to vibrate.
Do that, bro.
The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that ever happened to me." As you can imagine, Kenny's comment immediately caught a lot of people's attention. Some people called Kenny a liar, while others encouraged him to find the cave again and record his findings. And so he agreed to do just that. On October 18th of that year, Kenny uploaded a video of his long-distance hike in the Nevada desert in which he attempted to find the cave
man, I know this one, man. I know this one. I'm not spoiling
for a second time.
Well, here I am on my hike up here in the mountains north of...
Sure. How afraid I am to go to the mountains, guys. You can find snakes in the bushes and shit. I'm not about that kind of person that likes to go hiking, mountain and stuff. Waterfalls, going to look at the waterfall, going to the zoo. It's my thing, you know. But going on mountains, no. No ways, bro.
This is the,
And Las Vegas got gang snakes. Oh.
Now you can't tell, but my truck is way out there by the mountains at the very, very end of this valley.
At the beginning of the video, Kenny
you're gonna arrive there in a month, I'm sure, bro.
Gives his viewers an introduction into the monstrous hike that lies ahead of him that day. As the day goes on, he continues to record what he sees as he travels through the Mojave Desert trying to locate the cave again.
There's some interesting stuff coming up here. Look, see those? Look at that. Kinda.
The hell is that, bro?
Right.
Let me know if you all saw that, because I didn't see that.
Alright, I'm
I
gonna
didn't
turn
see
it
that.
off and then I'll turn it back on here. Look at that, that's pretty cool right there. Huh.
Is that a lion there, bro?
Alright, off with the camera.
That was the end of the video Kenny posted. Because he failed to find the cave the second time through, a lot of his viewers criticized him pretty brutally, calling him a fraud and pressuring him into trying to find the cave for a third time. In a sea of comments provoking Kenny, a user named Lemmy Kilmister made a particularly disturbing and ominous comment that read, "No, do not go back there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. You won't get out." Still, on November 10th of that year, Kenny told his family he was going on an overnight hiking trip, and he set off by himself for the third time to find the mysterious M Cave in the Mojave.
That's why you must never go cave exploring, guys. Mountain climbing and you find a cave. Guys, don't go in. Walk past the cave like you didn't see nothing. If you go into a cave that has the shape M or whatever, shame on you, bruh. Shame on you, bruh. For real. No truths. Shame on you, bruh.
Driest regions in the world. That was the last time he was ever seen. On November 22nd, 2014, 12 days after he set off on his search for the M Cave, a group of search and rescue teams found his phone lying at the top of the same mine shaft he had pointed out in his M Cave video. Unfortunately, after his phone was located, the case went cold, and Kenny's body was never found.
Till today.
After the mysterious disappearance, people started coming up with all sorts of theories to explain what could have happened to Kenny, with most people claiming that he had either fallen down the abandoned mine shaft or died of overexposure. Some of the more outlandish theories
died
were that
overexposure,
Kenny could
bro.
have witnessed a crime out in the middle of the desert and had to be silenced, or that he found a secret military base and was eliminated by the government. However, a few months after his disappearance, a comment on the original video made by a woman named Sharon Pilgrim shed light on an entirely new...
I am the girlfriend that Kenny spoke of in that video. There are so many posts. I had no idea until a friend let me know so many people are wondering what happened and guessing different things. You are heartfelt about the sadness around what has happened with Kenny. He has not been found, and I feel that he probably will not be found for many months, if ever. I want to share what I know about. I want to, guys. Yo,
Possibility
I,
that Kenny had
I
taken his
am. My
own
reading
life.
is.
The comment read, I am the girlfriend that Kenny spoke of in the video. Kenny has not been found, and I feel that he probably will not be found for many, many months, if ever. I want you to know that I do not think Kenny had an accident. I believe he took his life. He battled with depression for many years and would not take medication or see a doctor. He quit his job a little more than a year before he disappeared. In response to his phone being found at the mine shaft, Sharon then added, the mine shaft was about a 4-hour hike from his car. It is my feeling that he left it behind so that he could not be tracked from the GPS in it. He also did not take his video
So this mine shaft was haunted, guys. Or
camera with him on this solo hike.
was
It
it
was left in his
just?
home, so he had no intention of filming anything. I am healing from my loss and look forward to new experiences with desert hiking, camping, and taking beautiful pictures of our desert. Enjoy your adventures of life, and thank you for the kind, loving comments sent my way. Even though the woman's comment seems pretty
How about the
genuine
dog
and
breed?
brings light to the very real possibility that Kenny took his own life, the case still doesn't have a solid conclusion. Over the years, several other YouTubers have found caves in the same area Kenny was hiking in that almost perfectly resembled the letter M, and recently one of them even had a danger restricted area sign put up next to his
See,
entrance.
and you enter.
So, even though it's possible that Kenny took his own life in the desert, his
Cockeyed.
disappearance has still left more questions than answers. On September 8, 2015, a man named Tim from Mounds View, Minnesota contacted the police and told them his friend, 32-year-old Henry McCabe, a Liberian immigrant and auditor for the Department of Revenue, had gone missing. As per Tim's testimony,
Dude looks like
Henry
a
had been at
president,
barbecue
bruh.
hosted by a friend named Emmanuel earlier that day and had left to go to a nightclub at around 11 p.m. After following up with the two acquaintances who had been with Henry at the club on the night of the disappearance, the cops realized they had a pretty complicated case on their hands. According to the two friends who had been with Henry at the C'est La Vie nightclub in Spring Lake that night, Henry had been drinking pretty heavily, and upon leaving the club at around 2 a.m., he allegedly asked William, one of the acquaintances he was with, to drop him off at a gas station nearby. After getting dropped off by William, who thought it was strange that Henry rejected his offer to drop him off at his house instead of a random gas station, Henry called his wife a little after 2:20 a.m. According to his wife, Henry sounded pretty delirious on the call, and near the end of the conversation, she called one of Henry's friends to ask him to go get her husband. Even though the friend didn't answer the call, the last 2 minutes of the conversation between Henry and his wife were recorded by the friend's voicemail, and the content of the conversation is pretty disturbing.
Hmm? What is he saying, guys? What the hell, bruh?
It's almost impossible to make out any of the words in the audio, and the combination of growls, moans, and screams makes it hard to know what to even make of the recording. But needless to say, the voicemail is pretty unsettling. It almost sounds like the screams are coming from someone who's being attacked, but we obviously can't know for sure. That same evening, another acquaintance called Henry and later told police that it sounded as though Henry had gotten into an altercation with someone in the middle of the call. Strangely, even though Corinne McCabe, Henry's wife, mentioned that
It
the
looks
sounds
like
her
Dee
husband
Dee,
was
guys,
making
I'm not
during the
gonna
call
lie.
were extremely out of character for him, who was usually perfectly articulate, she only made a single call to one of Henry's friends to try and get him to pick up her husband, and when she didn't get a response, she went right
Got a
back to
beautiful
bed.
wife.
Even more strangely, during her questioning, Corinne repeatedly told the cops that she knew Henry was alive, even though she didn't have the evidence to prove it directly. After this extremely disturbing
Good choice, stay
incident was
positive.
reported, Henry's phone records show that he called a Texas number that he had called over 20 times that day, but when the cops tried to trace the number, it came up as no longer in service. It's impossible to know if the calls themselves were made by Henry or someone else, but after the unsettling conversation with his wife, phone records show that several calls were made from Henry's phone to that same now disconnected number in the days following his disappearance. As the investigation went on, things continued to get stranger.
Creepy as
Suspiciously,
fuck.
the cops never found footage of William's red car pulling up to the gas station where he had supposedly dropped Henry off, even though they checked the entire night's footage from all angles. William later ended up changing his story.
Guys, this is
and alleged that
creepy,
as soon as
bro.
he dropped Henry off, he immediately got back in the car and William dropped him off at another gas station a couple of miles away. It was later revealed by a confidential FBI informant that during the searches that took place after the disappearance, Emmanuel, the host of the barbecue, and a group of 3 other men would often stand a few feet away from the rest of the search party and talk suspiciously among themselves. Still, it was never determined if they had anything to do with the disappearance. On October 2nd, almost a month after Henry went missing, a strange anonymous letter was sent to the New Brighton Police Department a few miles from where Henry went missing. The letter read, "Henry McCabe, his body next to water, partially buried. Needs search dog to find. Witness who saw
Was he
body
missing or
upstairs,
something,
female
or
yes,
abducted
asked to
car?
come
Like,
forward.
bro, what's going
Can
on,
remain
bro?
anonymous and will protect." On November 2nd,
That's
the
his
cops
family.
found Henry's body in Rush Lake, a few miles from where Henry had supposedly been dropped off on the night of his disappearance.
Damn.
Mysteriously, they didn't find any signs of foul play on his body, even though the anonymous letter suggests he was buried by someone else. Despite the lack of evidence
to
on
be
his
buried by
body,
someone
it's
else.
possible that he was either forcibly drowned by a group of assailants, that he took his own life, or that something entirely different took place that night. The only thing we know for sure is that this is an extremely strange case that we'll probably never get a conclusive explanation for.
Hey. Let's give that a hand clap, guys. That was very, very, very good, bro. Very, very, very good.
What is your phone, Michael? Please, I will not be long.
Sorry, my sister.
In the summer of 2013, a 26-year-old oil worker from
looks
Texas
like my
named Brandon
stepdad.
Lawson arrived home from work and immediately got into an argument with his long-term girlfriend. Things had been pretty tense between the couple in the days leading up to that evening, as Brandon had frequently been working Monday through Sunday, and the youngest of the couple's 2 children was only a few months old. Also, Brandon had recently relapsed into addiction, which further strained their relationship. It's unclear if his girlfriend kicked him out of the house or if he decided to leave after about an hour of arguing, but whatever the case, Brandon got in his silver Ford F-150 and drove away from his home in San Angelo at midnight on August 8th, after which he was never seen again. The incredibly strange events that took place over the next few hours have turned this case into one of the most mysterious and disturbing disappearances of the decade. About half an hour after leaving his house, Brandon made a phone call to his brother Kyle, letting him know that he was a few miles south of Braun on a stretch of highway in the middle of nowhere, and that he was out of gas. After fetching a gas can from Brandon's house, which was about a mile away from his own, Kyle got into his car and prepared to drive to his brother's location. But things didn't exactly go according to plan for Brandon, and a few minutes later, at around 12:50 a.m., he made this disturbing call to 911.
911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. The state, we're just pushing guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here that got taken to the woods. Please hurry.
Okay, now run that by me.
We're not talking to him. I actually ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Although it's hard to make out what's going on in the background, many people have alleged that they can hear the sound of gunshots and other people talking in the audio, but it's hard to confirm what exactly was being said and what was even going on during the call. 8 minutes after Brandon's 911 call, another driver called the cops to inform that a silver F-150 had been parked pretty dangerously on the highway, with the back of the truck sticking out into the other lane. Following his call to 911, Brandon continued to contact his brother Kyle by phone, and they exchanged a series of strange phone calls. Even though these next calls weren't recorded, according to Kyle, Brandon sounded extremely paranoid, repeatedly claiming that he was being chased out of town by the Mexicans in the neighborhood. When Kyle asked him if he had been using drugs again, Brandon immediately denied it. At around 1:10 a.m., Kyle arrived at the location where the truck was parked, but Brandon was nowhere to be seen. A few minutes after his brother's arrival, Brandon once again called Kyle and made a series of disturbing statements, claiming that he could see Kyle and the officer that had just arrived at the scene, that he was bleeding, and that they needed to hurry. Disturbingly, he was nowhere in sight. For the next few minutes, Kyle continued to try to get in touch with Brandon, but all his calls went straight to voicemail. After failing to find him that night, the cops launched an official search for Brandon, complete with helicopters, thermal cameras, dogs, and a massive search party.
True.
Unfortunately, Brandon was nowhere to be found. It was later revealed that Brandon had cashed out his 401k on the night of his disappearance, suggesting he might have vanished on his own accord. However, due to his distressed phone calls to 911 and his brother, it's also possible that Brandon fell victim to some sort of cartel activity, or that someone he ran into on the road attacked him. In February 2022, a small search party consisting of family members and friends found a pair of shoes and clothing that matched the description of what Brandon was wearing on the night of his disappearance. And after searching the area, the cops found human remains near the consisting of family members and friends found a pair of shoes and clothing that matched the description of what Brandon was wearing on the night of his disappearance. And after searching the area, the cops found human remains near the location of the shoes and clothing. Even though the remains were sent to be tested more than 2 years ago, there still hasn't been a definitive answer for whether they belong to Brandon or what could have happened to him that night.
Bradley.
Hopefully, with time, more conclusive answers will surface to give Brandon's family a sense of much-needed closure. Until then, this will probably remain
Well, story in a nutshell. Yeah, well, the video has come to a stop, guys. Hey, this is a story in a nutshell, guys. Bro. Alright, guys, please, hey, like, subscribe, post notification. Please support me, everything. I will definitely link these guys' channel down below. But until next time, guys, I'll be streaming later if I'm available. But yeah, please like, subscribe, support me. Thank you. Have a great Saturday and love y'all.